Hey, you guys. We are super excited to come to you today. We are going to talk about a topic that is so crucial to entrepreneurs, no matter what stage you're at in your business. Mindset is so important. And there's a huge piece of mindset that I have heard gets in the way of every single entrepreneur. I have yet to find one that has not run up against this, and it's called resistance. And if you guys have not read this book yet or have not got your hands on it, it is highly, highly, highly recommended. So me and Heather are going to talk resistance with you today. Heather is a mindset guru, and we're just going to go through some things that are going to help you start to, one, understand what resistance is, how it shows up, and then some things that you can do to combat it, because it's not a big deal that it's there. We all have it. The important thing is knowing how to work through it. So, Heather, let's chat. This is an awesome topic. We could talk about it for hours, truly, but
Yes. And we have.
and we do.
My name is Heather Quizzle, and this you heard from Jenny Taylor, and we have been working together for years. And this idea of resistance comes up a lot of times in conversations for us. And, resistance shows up anytime you do anything big. You notice it anytime you start a new diet. You start a new workout program, Yep. You start a new business, you have an idea of something that you want to do, that you want to change, you want to overcome. Anytime you want to change a habit or build a new one, you want to overcome an addiction, you start to feel that resistance. Yep. And the thing about resistance that I want you guys to understand is that it's really invisible, right? You don't see it, but you feel it. And a lot of people can't even articulate what that is. And we're really going to help you be able to identify where resistance is showing up in your life and really how to overcome it. But know that it's universal. It's not personal. Resistance goal is to seek, kill, and destroy, not to just disarm you, not to just wound you, but really kill the dream, kill the goal. It is a very strong force. And it ultimately keeps a lot of people from accomplishing that goal, getting down to that goal weight, starting that new business, writing that novel. Resistance is the little bugger that's getting in our way.
Yeah. It shows up too, you guys. Heather, weight loss is a huge one. Whether it's weight loss or getting fit or, taking on that healthy lifestyle. But another place that it shows up is your spiritual journey. Anytime you put a stake in the ground and you say, I want to get closer to God. I want to go to the next level. I've heard it stated, new level, new devil. Mm-hmm. And there is no question that when you are seeking to become a better version of yourself, to get to the next level, to go higher, to get above where you've been, this is when it shows up, because it is the way I have the best visual of this. And I cannot remember who told me this story, but this story has just absolutely positively stuck with me because it's so visual. Have you ever heard the story of the crabs in the boiling water? There's a pot of boiling water. There's a boatload of crabs in this pot. There's a couple of them that are getting close to the top and they're just about ready to get out. And the ones down at the bottom, instead of like pushing them over and figuring out how they can all get out, they pull that sucker right back in. And that is what resistance is. It's like, how dare you dream or think that you are going to get past this place? How dare you think that you're going to move forward? I'm going to pull you back and keep you sucked in right here. And as a business owner, you guys, man, oh man, do we feel it, right? We're already nervous about being a business. I mean, how many of you were scared to start your business? I was totally freaked out about starting my business, and I was a confident business executive, but starting my own business felt very, very scary. So you guys primarily that have found us are probably business owners. That's probably how you found us. And man, this is where it shows up. So think of those crabs and remember that as you're climbing anything, it's going to start pulling you back. But the good news is you have power. We all have power. We have power to break that thing that's hanging onto our leg. So I love that story, Heather, because I think it's just so incredibly visual about what this really is like. And like you said, it's not here to just kind of play around with you. It's here to destroy you. Like it wants to take you down.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a powerful force. And Jenny, we're going to talk about 4 real big symptoms of resistance, really how they show up in your life, how they hold you back, and really how you can overcome them. And the first one I want to start with is procrastination. Procrastination. And the dangerous thing about procrastination is it's not like you're saying, I'm never going to start this. I'm never going to start the diet. I'm never going to start the business. It's I'm going to do it another time. And what that is, it really is that resistance getting in your head and giving you reasons to really not ever self-actualize, not ever step into that, not ever, as Jenny says, reach up out of that bucket and look what's outside in that new world. That procrastination, man, that thing is a big, big killer for people.
It's huge. And you guys, procrastination, what I mean, if we could stop procrastinating, truly, if we could figure out how to stop procrastinating in every area of our business, we would see massive, massive movement. And the reality of procrastination is that what Heather said, it's tricky because you're not telling yourself you're not going to. You're telling yourself you're not going to today. And then tomorrow comes and you tell yourself the same thing. And I was at a training and I love this picture that was painted. Procrastination is basically taking the pain point because anytime you grow, there's going to be pain. There's pain in growth because you're stretching yourself into an area that you don't know. It's uncomfortable. You know, there's all kinds of self-doubt that comes with it. People around you don't understand it if they're not on the same track. So there's all kinds of stuff. So we're experiencing a lot of friction, and you can either take that friction now by not procrastinating, or you can procrastinate. And then pretty soon, when you get to 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, even a year down the road, and you look back, then the pain is there. So you still have pain. It's a choice of whether you have pain up front now and bite the bullet, or if you have regret and pain down the road, looking back and seeing how far everybody else has gone and how stuck you still are. And procrastination is that it's that sucker that keeps you there because Heather is exactly right. We tell ourselves, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it today. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a trap. It's a huge trap.
Massive. And how many times do we hear people say, oh, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book one day. I'm going to do this. And they have all these grand schemes and dreams and goals, but they never step forward into them. You never hear them. And then you kind of start to roll your eyes when you're around them because they talk so confidently about what they're going to do. That procrastination, it's just delaying it because they really don't want to feel how much resistant it hurts.
How
it's
scary it is.
And they don't want to feel it. It is very scary. So we just keep putting it off. So the obvious step here to overcome that, guys, is to do the thing you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
And procrastination, just like anything else, you overcome it with like baby steps.
Yep.
But the thing is, with baby steps, you can't just take one and fall over. You know, you can't just take one and be off running. You take one and another, and they're labored and they're awkward, you know.
Yep.
Literally, if you imagine a baby taking first steps, it's not easy. It's not fluid. It's not graceful. It's often pretty ugly.
Yeah.
You know, we laugh. But that's what baby steps are. You have to go through sort of that muck and that mud and that ugly to kind of get your footing and get further and further down the line. So, you know, anytime you feel that procrastination, and I'll feel it first thing in the morning, you know, my alarm goes off really early to exercise every morning, and I have been doing this almost my whole life. The little voice inside my brain goes, oh, just 10 more minutes in bed, just 10 more minutes in bed. And every single morning I have to go, nope, I'm doing it now, and just get out. I just have to get out. And you really have to get out of the messages that are being, because
they're never going to go away. And that's
No.
what I think people think that, you know, Heather and I are at a stage in our business where we've accomplished a lot. We have a great paycheck. And, oftentimes people will look at us and say, yeah, well, it's different for you. No, it's not.
No.
The difference is we've learned how to, regardless of what is being said, to still take the step. And I think as business owners, I want to really challenge you, because in our world, the when you're starting out, you're challenged with talking about something and sharing something that you know very little about, and the conversations are awkward. And the conversations were awkward for Heather, they were awkward for me, but the only way they get better is by doing them. So you step out, and you're not mastered yet. It's okay. But through the process of that stepping out, just like Heather was talking about that baby, each time they step, they get a little bit better at walking. And each time you communicate and each time you share about what you have going on, you're going to get a little bit better at it. You will not get better not doing it. That is a guarantee. That procrastination and that believing like, well, maybe if I just sit back here and if I study a little bit more and if I read over this script a little bit more, you're not going to get better at it. You've got to do it. You have to do it to get better. And you're going to do it pretty ugly in the beginning. And it's okay.
Yeah.
We still, Heather and I still have moments where we do stuff and it's like, that wasn't that great, but it's okay. We're still building and growing. So what's the next topic, lady? Procrastination was a big one.
Well, self-doubt. Let's talk about self-doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And what's really interesting about self-doubt is really an indicator of your aspirations.
Yep.
When you feel self-doubt, like I couldn't do this. I'm not good at it. I'm not a writer. I'm not a blogger. I'm not a whatever. That's actually what you are aspiring to be. So it leads you to that place. Chances are, if you're feeling self-doubt and you're questioning, am I a blogger? Am I a real business owner? Can I do this? Chances are, yes, you can, but you have to choose to do it. What resistance does, though, is it plays on all of that self-doubt. See, one of the qualities of resistance is that, and this is coming from that book, The War of Art, is that it recruits allies. Yeah. It recruits your family who doubts you. It recruits your friends who question you. It recruits your own mind who doubts you, and it plays on that and it feeds it. And basically the message is, see, nobody else really thinks you can do it. You're crazy. Time to stop. That's the message that we think we're getting. Oh, this must be a sign. This must be a sign I shouldn't do it. But again, no. You should absolutely do it. And again, it always comes down to those baby steps.
Yeah. Think about it again, guys. It's the crabs in the pot. The allies are the people that are pulling you right back saying, you can't do this. Where did you even believe that you could do this? And here's the tricky part about self-doubt. I was just at a meeting the other day, and it was a meeting of leaders. And one of the ladies said, she's been leading her entire life, you guys. And what she said was, I don't know if I'm a good leader. I have zero self-confidence. And what I said back to her was, welcome to the club, and not trying to be a jerk, but I don't think any leader honestly goes, I got it together and I know exactly what I'm doing 100% of the time. Because when you're leading, you're constantly putting yourself out there. And when you put yourself out there, there's a lot of self-doubt that comes with it. Now, the difference between leaders and people that don't lead is that they put themselves out there. Mm-hmm. There's so many people that will get stuck listening to the self-doubt and being paralyzed by the self-doubt. The self-doubt doesn't ever go away. The negative self-talk doesn't ever go away. It's just like what Heather was talking about. Every morning, she hears in her head, just sleep 10 more minutes. That never goes away. The difference is she fights it. So don't think that all of a sudden you get to a place and it's gone. It's not gone. We fight it. We choose every day to step forward regardless of the self-doubt. And that's another reason why it is so important to have a tight inner circle, you guys. An inner circle that understands your dreams, that truly has your back, that will And when I say has your back, isn't someone that's just going to roll over and tell you whatever you want to hear. They give it to you straight, but they're not trying to pull you back. They're not trying to hold you down. They're not insecure about you. They're actually propelling you. If you don't have that, that's a whole nother topic, but that is so important. So important.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what do you have after?
Let's dive into fears. And this is very similar to self-doubt. This is very similar. But resistance feeds into your fears. Mm-hmm. It feeds into your fears of failing, your fears of insecurity, your fears of looking stupid in front of other people, your fears of not being good enough, your fears of not having the right background, the right income, the right neighborhood, whatever it is. Those fears are a huge driver for resistance. Yeah. And with resistance, just, remember, resistance can cajole, seduce, lie, cheat its way to make you stop, to really kill the activity that you're dreaming and scheming of doing. And when it comes to fear, a lot of times you'll find yourself like paralyzed with fear. You can't move forward, but you're frustrated with where you are, but yet the fear is so great, you don't even know where to go and really what to believe. And I know for me, as a business owner, as a woman with goals with anything, guys, and again, this is if you are wanting to write that book, if you are, wanting to release a course, if you are wanting to start a nonprofit, you are going to feel a lot of fears. And what I have found is that fear is a huge barometer for the thing that you must do.
Yep, absolutely.
The bigger, the stronger the fears, the bigger, the stronger the calling and the absolution that you should do it. Yep. And when you are like right on the cusp, like at the finish line, like when you are right about at that finish line, like you are coming up on it, that is when the fear, the doubt, the insecurity, all of that gets bigger and bigger and louder, and it hurts more, and you question yourself even more. And again, the louder it screams, the closer you are.
You guys, Heather and I have had so many behind the scene conversations about fear. And I mean, it's an ongoing topic because as business owners and leaders, we're constantly facing our fears. Putting yourself out there is scary. And I remember having one conversation with her, and I said, look, we have proved time and time again that we feel the fear and we do it anyway. And that's just how we built this business. And it's true. We have felt the fear over and over and over, and we've faced it head on, sometimes better than others, sometimes actually really ugly. But that's not the point. The point is facing it and moving rather than staying stuck in the paralyzation, because the fear is there, you guys. And
the fear is there.
The fear is there. And what you fear today, you will conquer. And then there's going to be something else that pops, because this is a journey of becoming. It's a journey of becoming all that you're meant to be. And all that you're meant to be isn't just a business owner. It isn't just a mom. It isn't just a sister or an aunt or whatever. You are an entire amazing person that has a lot of different things that you're going to do. And you conquer one, and now you start looking at other things. Heather and I are at the stage in our business where we're branching off. We're looking at other things. Opportunities are coming to us that would not have come to us if we were still stuck wondering if we could build our business. Yeah. The opportunities are coming because we fought the fear through all of that. And now we got to a different level of personal awareness and understanding what makes us tick. And there's, maybe we should be going over here. That would have never happened if we were still stuck wondering if we could build a business. Yeah. Can Absolutely. We do it? I don't know. We still don't know. We just do it.
We do it scared, right? Yes. We do it scared. And what I find, whether we're talking about procrastination or self-doubt or fear or whatever, is that what I build up in my head, what gets built up here is this big, enormous thing that is going to be so hard and so time consuming and so painful to get through. And 9 times out of 10, when I buckle down and do it, It's
not
over
that big
and
of
it's
a
done. It was
deal.
not that bad. But then what I find is once you do it, that one thing, and just think of what is that one thing that you've been putting off the most, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Once you do that today and get it done with, there's a huge weight that's lifted off your shoulder.
Yeah.
Your confidence goes way up because you just showed yourself that you really can do it. And then it gives you that confidence and ability to tackle the next thing, which just like you said, Jenny, there's a new level, new devil. So we get to the next thing and there's something else that's big and heavy and audacious and scary. And we're going to feel that resistance. But man, boom, once you tackle that, weight comes off, you feel strong again, and you're ready to tackle a new level.
Yep.
So
the
that's
way it
what's
works.
most important. Yeah. Most important thing when we feel resistance and fears and whatever is the mindset training is I hear you. I hear where you're coming from. And yet I know that I still must do it.
Yep.
I know that this is a sign, one, I have to do it. And two, this is just the force that is here to see how bad do you want it?
Yep.
How bad do you want it?
Yep. And the reality is the critics are always going to be there. You know, I think sometimes we're so afraid of the critics. We're so afraid of the people that, you know, told you couldn't do it, that told you would never succeed, that hate your guts, you know, whatever your critic is. We're so afraid of the critics, but here's the reality of the critics. They don't ever go away either. So you can stay stuck listening to what the critics label you as and sitting right there, or you can believe in yourself and go and learn and become better. Because all of owning your business, all that it is, not to oversimplify it, but at the end of the day, all it is every single day, can you look at yourself and say, I did that a little bit better than I did the day before. I'm not where I want to be, but I made progress. That's all it is, because no one has it perfect.
Yeah.
But yet it still progresses if you aren't stalled in the fear, the paralyzation, the self-doubt, the procrastination. It's a choice. It's a daily choice to work the business and go for it.
Absolutely. And Jenny, you had mentioned the critics, and this is the fourth and final, symptom, the ways that resistance shows up that we're going to talk about today. And criticism is a form of resistance. And what I find really fascinating here is that when it comes to the critics, when it comes to people that are critical of you, is that it drives people insane to see you stepping into your authentic life when they have yet not chosen to do it.
Yep.
It drives them crazy. And that's where you hear that criticism.
Yep.
And think in your own life, because we're human, and I know I have been very critical of people in different times of my life. And when I think about where that criticism comes from, it's easy to say, I would have done it this way. Although
you're not doing it.
Yeah. Not doing it this way. It's like the quintessential, sitting in the passenger seat. You can say what you would have done as being in the driver, but yet you're not the one holding the wheel. You're not the one making the choices. You're not the one, steering that vehicle, working towards those goals. Yeah. So keep in mind that criticism, there's two ways I really want you to hear it is if you are the critical one, if you are hearing yourself being very critical of others, that is a sure sign that resistance is keeping you from something that you should be doing. Yep. And on the flip side, if you are hearing criticism come at you, understand that you're being criticized simply because you are stepping into your authentic life. Yep. And that, to me, I have learned to take that as a source of accomplishment. Well, I must be doing something right if I'm hearing people be critical.
And I love to... and this is not something that I've done my entire life. This is something brand new since I've been an entrepreneur. And it's really understanding who is allowed in my circle to criticize, because I do want constructive criticism, and I do want to have a circle of people that I count on because they do love me and they do have my best interests at heart. But I want to tell you, as an entrepreneur, that circle should be pretty darn small. It should be vetted. It should be picked very strategically. And it may change as you
Yeah.
evolve. So
Yeah.
be careful. Be very careful with who you allow to have the critical um, feedback, because we all need it. We all need feedback. But there's a big difference between constructive feedback that is meant to help you and propel you, and critical, just you suck because you're moving in a direction that someone is not comfortable with. It's very different. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we can talk inner circle till the cows come home, but if anything on that,
Yes.
pick it wisely, keep it tight, and know that it will evolve over time. But man, don't let people get in your head that don't deserve to be there, because there's a lot of critics out there that have an opinion, but like Heather said, they're not behind the wheel. They're not doing what you're doing. They're not experiencing what you're experiencing. So they have no business giving you feedback on your business and what you're trying to accomplish. So I
Absolutely.
love that, because man, oh man, the critics come out the minute you make a decision that you're going to do something different. When I
Yeah.
decided to start my own business and leave corporate, man, you would have thought that I had, you know, I don't know, cut someone's head off. It
Right?
was like so crazy. People thought I had lost my mind. And the thing about it is, those people are still sitting behind a desk and they're still miserable and they complain every day about their job, but they're not willing to do anything about it. So
Yeah.
just be careful with where that criticism is coming from, because
Yeah.
it most of it's probably the peanut gallery that doesn't get an opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, to wrap this up for you guys, resistance. You're going to feel resistance anytime you tackle something that
Yeah.
propels you forward, advances you in life, sets you on a new level of self actualization, and it's normal. It's universal. We all feel it. You're going to see it in procrastination. You're going to see it come through self doubts, fears, and especially through criticism. But know that the best way to continue forward is to recognize it for what it is. It's just a
Yeah.
force. It's just a voice in your head. It's not real. You cannot reason with it. And the best way to tackle it is to move forward anyway.
Yep.
Continue the becoming process of stepping into who you are, who you're meant to be, and really who you're meant to serve.
Yep.
So that's me,
I love
Heather
it.
Quizzle and Jenny Taylor, and we just thank you for being here with us today. If you loved this and want to hear more, you can find us at Give, Grow, Gain on the YouTube station.
Bye, you guys.